Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to be talking about hiccups that come when your manifestation is coming through. Like maybe everything was going so great and then all of a sudden something gets triggered, something happens, and an undesirable turn of events occurs in your reality. So, gonna get straight into it. I was thinking of what kind of analogy to use for this, and I was shown like Velcro strips or anything, like even contact paper. The funniest one, that's probably the one that I'm gonna use for this, is like window tinting on cars. You see the do-it-yourself ones that people have that have all the bubbles in it. And we're not going to pass judgment, but I know that for me personally, if my windows were to be tinted, it would be very undesirable for me to have a bunch of bubbles in my window tinting. I would want it to look seamless, right? So when you're aligning with your manifestation, nothing can stop you except for your own mental blocks, right? So oftentimes we don't see those blocks until the hiccups or the bubbles arrive in our window tint, in our alignment. So as things are aligning, if we want to go with the Velcro method, let's say that there's like fear blocks here. If you're trying to stick it together, you're going to kind of get this is awful, I'm trying to show Velcro with my hands, but you see how it's not flat, right? It's kind of like this because there's fear in the way, right? So it's aligned up here and it's aligned down here, but we still have this fear in the middle. It's not fully coming in, right? So like window tinting, we got to get that bubble out. I mean, unless you want to sit there and you don't want the fear to come up, that's fine. That's a different video that I probably will never make because my personal lifestyle and like my drive for myself doesn't work like that. I always want to clear everything. So you got to get that bubble out, right? So you can put the contact paper down, but then you're going to have, or the tinting down, but then you're going to have all of these bubbles. If you have little things that need to be cleared out, little things that are keeping you from the end goal, because maybe you manifested the beginning of things, but these little air bubbles are going to keep you from really coming in to your end goal, whatever the full wish fulfillment is, right? So like, for example, if you're buying a house, maybe it's you got through the approval process, you've been approved for a loan, but now you're terrified that you don't feel worthy of actually closing a deal on any home. That could go for a car as well. Maybe you feel that you're not going to find a car that meets your standards, or you're going to have to make sacrifices to actually get a car. For a person, maybe you feel that this person is worthy of taking you out on a first date, but they're not going to really want something long term with you, but that's what you want, and you have all these air bubbles, right? So that's why hiccups can come in the beginning, because that's why the fears can come up in the beginning, because when you are pulling yourself to the end, you got to get those air bubbles out. My cat distracted me long enough for me to realize, where am I going with this? I knew the beginning of this video, but where am I going with this? And I realized where I'm going with this is that when those air bubbles come in, when fears come up, when triggers come up, when things look like they're falling apart, it doesn't mean that you don't deserve that end goal. It doesn't mean that you give up. It doesn't mean that you can't have that car or that house, even if fear has come up, even if something has disrupted your 3D, even if the air bubble has gone out and reflected into your 3D as something undesirable, with a person, with a car, with a house, with a trip, with travel arrangements, friendship, with your family, with a job. I always forget about that one. So, what do you do instead? You work through it, right? You say, okay, like, what is this showing me? How can I heal here? What kind of place do I need to come into? You ask yourself what it looks like, what it feels like to be that homeowner, what it feels like to be in that partnership, what it feels like to have that job or that car or that pet or to go on the trip of your dreams. You know, how do you feel? And is who you are right this second in alignment with that? No, or else you'd be there, right? So those air bubbles are showing you what you need to work out. My cat just jumped up behind my camera. Those air bubbles are showing you what you need to work out so that you can come into alignment and your window tinting can look really nice on your car. So my cat has joined us and he has a very loud purr, but he's staying, so. Distracting me only a little bit, right? Only a little bit. So I can't tell you how to work through whatever it is that you need to work through. That's something that you have to find out for yourself, how you come into alignment. I'm just gonna move this over here. Maybe that'll cut down on the beautiful background noise we are being graced with. You know, if it's fears, limiting beliefs, I like to affirm the opposite, right? So if I feel that it's like, for some reason there's people have a desire or don't have a desire to sign a contract on a house with me, I would affirm for that, right? I would go through all the different aspects. Why do I feel that somebody wouldn't sign a home contract with me? Do they not like me for some reason? Is it personal? Are they judging me in some way? And then affirm the opposite for all that. Affirm positively so that you can have your dream home. If it's a person, you know, why do I feel like I'm not in that end goal, right? Because if you're having trouble getting a couple dates to go smoothly and your dream is to be married, are you embodying the married partner, right? Like wife, husband, if you don't want to label it like that, the married partner. Are you embodying that? That can be as simple as how you're behaving when you come home from work and you're single and you're living alone. Like, are you in that married partner energy? Are you taking care of yourself in that way? Are you prepared for this? So to get those bubbles out, you have to work through whatever it is that you can see in yourself that is not aligning you to the end goal of whatever the manifestation is. Because what I've learned with myself is that some people do a really, really fantastic job. You're so sweet. Thank you for the kisses. Some people do a really fantastic job of manifesting all the middle bits. For me, it triggers me to manifest the middle because what I do mentally is I say, well, I can't have this end goal if things don't work out exactly in this way, right? Like, we have to go on a date at this time in this place, and if I don't hear from this person by blah, 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 or they're not talking to me this much, then it's all my old fears. It's all my old fears. If I can't get approved for a loan of this much, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to buy a house that, you know, fits all my needs, all of these things. So our limiting beliefs can really come out when we start manifesting the middle. And if you're not finding that, if you're having no issues with the middle, go for it. But maybe it's easier to just manifest the end game or the end goal. And when you're manifesting the end goal, you need to be matching the energy of the end goal. Your energy can't be matching the middle ground because you don't handle the middle that well. And it's been my observation that I like to, when I manifest the middle steps, it's me exerting control, and it's me saying, like, manifesting a lack, right? I'm affirming a lack. If I don't have these middle steps met, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to get this if I don't have this happen. Don't manifest from a place of that. Just focus on the end and trust the process in the middle. Let go of all of that, because it can really get you hung up on that. So I'm going to wrap this video up because I'm being so distracted in such a beautiful way by my sweet boy, and also I don't want it to go too long. So get those air bubbles out so that you can come into alignment. Really focus on what the end goal is, and just sort of let everything happen in the middle. What does it matter if this doesn't work out? I'm already whatever the end goal is, right? None of the middle matters because you're in the end. You're in the end. So, oh, I don't know if I said this. I may have. If I'm repeating myself, I apologize. For me, what I witnessed with myself is that when right, like you want to be embodied in that end energy. So when you're starting and you're not messing up the alignment, but you're creating that alignment and you have all these air bubbles. And the air bubbles come up and disrupt your 3D. Yeah, I feel like I went on a tangent and I never finished this thought. I'm so sorry. When the air bubbles are disrupting your 3D, you're not messing up your manifestation. You are doing the work so that you can have it. That is manifesting. You have to work through these things to have your manifestation. Your manifestation is pulling these things out of you. So when you see these things coming up in yourself that are creating undesirable circumstances, don't be upset about it. I mean, be upset about it if you want to, like, if it's making you feel some type of way, but don't like linger on it thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm messing everything up. No, these things have to come out for you to align, and that is part of the manifestation process. Your manifestation is like, oh, they want to align with this, we got to pull these air bubbles out. So move through it. Once you get the air bubble out, move through it and then realign and know that you're still on that path. You weren't thrown off the path. Getting the air bubble out is part of the path to your manifestation, to that smooth, clean window tint. And if you want the air bubbles, again, sorry, this analogy is not for you. But yeah, hopefully I made my point clear. Let me know if I did not in the comments. I'm going to go snuggle with this baby and have a beautiful day. Yeah, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Did I make sense? Did you stay with me from point A to point B and everything in between? And yeah, give it a like if you liked it, share it if you want to, and subscribe if you'd like to hear more.